Hi Eliza, I'm just looking at your logo design. I do like how you've made your cup quite a bit. It is in different chunks, which can be problematic when you're trying to color it, but I'll show you a way of doing this that should work for you. The only thing I'd say is with this text here, if we triple click on that, we can change this. I think I have one called Program OT Bold that I think looks pretty good. And if I go to the three buttons over here in the Properties panel, just make sure you're in Window, Workspace, Essentials, Classic. But if you come here under Character, there are more options in the Character panel here that flies out when you push on these three buttons. And there's all caps. It's 2 capital T's. If you click on that, it'll make this all caps. And we can make this quite a bit bigger. It will cut off, but we can adjust that with the black arrow tool. We can grab the edges of this. You can see the little lines where the front and the back of this little rainbow text thing is. And we can even move it to center it a little bit better, and I might even need to make that a little bit wider. Okay, and we can also grab it with the free transform, push Shift down on our keyboard. The Shift will keep it from getting too goofy, or like, I guess, losing our proportion is what I meant to say. Here with the stroke, I like it, but I would actually push Shift on your keyboard and start dragging out a perfect circle. I let up on Shift and I'm still clicked down, so I can get a perfect circle. If you want to just go ahead and click another one out, you can. Just grab the ellipse and push Shift and you get a perfect circle. I would suggest not going with the stroke that you had. I think you used a brush stroke. I would just go back to uniform. I think it looks better to have the contrast of line types in your logo design, to have the rough lines mixed with a little bit more of a bold line. Maybe this needs to be a little bit bigger. But I kind of like the idea of the steam coming outside of the top, and we don't want this too far away, so I'll tuck that in. Coffee house could be quite a bit bigger. Like I said, we can make this a little bit bigger to grab this line, because you can see that it's not big enough. You get that red little dot there, so we can move that, and we can kind of twist this and move it to where we want it to be. And we can center it a little differently too if we want to, just to try and get that looking better. I wonder if this text couldn't be improved upon as well. I kind of like this one. Belly display. This is an Adobe font, so if you want to find your Adobe fonts, you can click here, search here. This was kind of a bold one. If you know the name of it, you can actually clear all of these filters and just, I think you can search for it in here. Let's see. Start turning, just so if you know the name of it, you can look for it. So I BELY, so here it is, display regular. And then I already have mine installed, so I can deactivate it. But if you want to activate a font, you just click on the little arrow or the cloud here to activate. And then when you go in, you should be able to find that. So this one I just did bold italic, so let's see if I can find that in my font list now. Here it is. So if this isn't working for you, if you aren't able to go and define more and look through the Adobe font list and activate fonts here, you may need to go into your applications and launch your Creative Cloud application, which looks like this, and just make sure that this is launched and open, and then you can kind of minimize that window. But just make sure it's open, because that will help it to sync to the cloud so that you can sync up with your Adobe fonts. But actually the one I liked the most was actually this one. I think this is a nice font. It's not fitting on the line very well, so I will size it down. I'll do a Command A to get everything. Command A is to select all in that text box, and then I can size it down. I almost like to see that a little bit wider, maybe. Just try and center everything nicely. And one thing is about this that we might want to update is we can grab the blob brush tool. We can change the size of this thing if we double click on it. It's underneath the paintbrush. So I think you've already used the paintbrush, but we can use the blob brush. Double click that. I would change the size to about, I don't know, 5 maybe. And then OK. And then we want to make our fill color white. And we just want to create a blob of color right there. And we want to arrange, send backward. And we want to make sure it's above the stroke. So let's grab the stroke, arrange, send to back. And so that will create some, oh, actually, I really just want to get this on top of it. So we need to mess with the arrange button. I'm not doing a very good job of showing you how to do that, but grabbing the stroke, arrange to front works pretty well. And there you go. That is, you know, not a bad version of a black and white. So this is named rough draft right now, so we want to do file, save as before we turn this in. And we want to go into our documents. We want to go into our, let's see, graphic design 231 folder that we created a while ago. We want to go to our logo design folder that we created, our logo design project folder we created a while ago. And we want to name, I already did this earlier but I lost my video, so I'm doing it again. And we want to name it your first name, logo design, BW as the file name, and we want to save this as an AI, Adobe Illustrator, push save. I'm going to replace it because I already have one in there, push OK. So, and then once you have this, you can do a file save as, and you can, we want to do our save, so we really want to do our save as for the color version, and we want to, I already did this, but we want to name it CMYK, and we will put it in that same folder. I want to make this an AI file. It'll stay AI. Push save. I'm going to replace it because I already did this earlier, but you won't have to do replace. And so now I can start adding color to this. And a good way of doing this, and I already kind of experimented with this earlier in the video I made before, but I kind of started working with kind of a loose coloring to add to the background. So like with this one, you know, we could do a fill color of a nice coffee color, possibly. And then maybe we want to use that blob brush tool. Probably at a smaller size, maybe 8 for the coffee mug. Maybe I want to use a nice red color, because red always looks nice with the coffee color. And then I can start filling in. Oops, I don't have my color. I want to take that off. Okay. Then I can start filling in, making this shape. I want to make my blob brush even bigger, actually. This isn't quite big enough. Yeah, this will go a lot faster if I'm not working with such a small brush. And basically I'm just kind of creating a really loose blob with the blob brush. Trying to fill it in completely. And then I need to make it smaller to do the handle. And it can be loose, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to go underneath. Oops, that was not a good thing that I did there. I'm working with my trackpad, so I don't have a ton of control, but I do what I can. That's what I got here. So this is super loose, but if we put this arrange, send to back, and then I'm going to grab this shape and arrange, send to back. Okay, and you can see there's some issues, but like that's actually kind of charming in a way to have that. Then I'm going to do, yeah, that's a good size. And then I'm going to do like a darker brown for the coffee. And the same process, just draw in, that's not dark brown, what is going on here? Okay, I need to take the stroke color off. I don't know why it keeps on going. When the stroke color is on there, it will not work. So make sure that there is just a fill color and not a stroke color. Otherwise, the only color that will show up is the stroke color. I'm going to fill in some of my spots here because I don't want any openings in my color. Okay, and I'm going to send that to back. Arrange, send to back. I can grab this, arrange, send to back. And you can see how that color is working. And you can do that with this shape here, and if there is a little bit of like messiness, it's actually adding to the how cute it is, honestly. And if you push Command and click as you click down. You can click through your different layers. So to fill in this shape here, we want to use whatever color you think the steam should be. I might make it, I don't know, orange for whatever reason. I'm not sure if that's even going to look good, but I'm just going to go for it. I'd probably do the same color on all the different chunks of steam. And we'll do, grab that, arrange, bring to front. And we would do a similar treatment to this other piece here. I would fill in this circle and this circle different colors. Maybe the same, either the orange or whatever colors you decide to go with. And maybe even the stroke color could be changed to more of like a coffee, just a darker brown coffee color, depending. Maybe even your text could be updated. And also, in both your black and white and color logos, don't forget to outline your fonts. So let's say this is how I'm wanting it to look. I would fill this in, and that in to make this look a little bit more finished. Honestly, it's obviously not done, but you get the point. I'm going to save this. I'm going to close out of this one. Where's your... So it looks like your artboard is not set up correctly either. We want to make this 3 by 3. So make sure your artboard is set up correctly. There's also another stroke around this that I didn't notice before. And then I can grab this, use this free transform tool, pushing shift on my keyboard, and I can just size down. I'm having a problem with the coffee house text. Might just need to be sized down. Command A, size that down. Okay, and that kind of goofed up our logo, so when you size this down, you're going to have problems. We may need to grab all these lines, all of the black, which actually would be easier to grab with the, if it's the only black thing on the canvas, you can use the magic wand tool. And then we could do an object path outline stroke. And then we can zoom out. Then we can grab everything again and try this again. I'm actually going to create outlines on my text too. This is something you need to do before you turn in your AI files. Grab that and then size it down, and we should have better luck. Yeah, we did. So that's something you're going to have to do on probably both your black and white and your color logo potentially, because I don't think you have your canvas size set up correctly. So you go to edit artboards with the black arrow tool and change the size to 3 by 3 and save that. You're going to have to outline the strokes and use this, outline your fonts and then size down. Another thing, to create your JPEGs, you want to do File, Export, Export As. Your JPEG file. Definitely check Use Artboards. This is the CMYK file, so that makes sense. We want to make sure that says CMYK, JPEG, Export. CMYK color, high resolution. Okay. And then we want to do an open on the black and white file, which you're going to have to resize this artboard, go through similar steps that we did in the other file to size it down properly. But once you do that and you outline your fonts, do your file, export, export as. And we want the black and white JPEG. And unfortunately, so this is how we want to set this up. Just name it, export. We want this in grayscale, high resolution. Okay. So that, if we go back in there and we look at this, documents, let's see, where is this? So you can see these are the files I want you to turn in. I want you to zip them up though, and I want you to remove these -01s from the JPEG file that Illustrator automatically adds, please. And you're going to have to do a control click on that, compress it. You might have to do it differently on a Windows, but this is what I want for a grade. Hopefully this video helped you to see what you can do with this logo and what you need to do moving forward. All right, talk to you later. Bye.